Welcome to the Next Drink Podcast. This is your host, Adam Brazizi, joined again today by my co-hosts, Nick Calderon and Chris Garabedian. After an absolute beatdown of the New York Jets by your New England Patriots today, just a demolition. That game looked like Alabama going against like a low D1A school where they just win the game 56-0. I can't believe how much of a domination that was. What did you guys think?
That was fun. It felt like, an old school, like Tom Brady, like game against the Jets where we just knew we were going to come in. We were going to toy with them. We were going to kick their ass. We're going to be laughing at them. We're going to be having some like, fuck you football on them. That's what it felt like. I felt like I was watching the 2016 Patriots. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets, we were joking about it before we started recording. The Jets really are just a tough franchise to have to be a fan for. Because once you're a fan for the Jets, like you Bruce said, you get born into it, and then there's no escaping it. And they are a true paper bag franchise.
Yeah, we'll get more into the Jets. I mean, I can't believe it felt like I said this in our group chat today. I felt like you were playing Madden on easy, and it's just like so easy to do whatever you want. It's like, oh, we want to run the ball. We get 9 yards. We want to throw the ball. Guys will be wide open. Like they run the ball. You stuff them in the backfield. Like it was just they are so. And I said it to Cal before you hopped on, G, beforehand. Like I can't believe they have 3 wins. And I know that they're kind of going to tank mode. Yeah, like how did that team? Because it's like we've played some of these other teams. Like we've played the Browns, we've played the Titans, right? Like they've stuck around in the game for a little bit with us. They have like good players, and I mean the Jets have gotten rid of a lot of their good players. They sat some of their good players today, but like that was just everything about them, man, was so pathetic.
Yeah, the Madden thing's hilarious because I said the same thing to one of my buddies too. It reminded me of when I used to like play my younger cousins. My cousins are like 5, 6 years younger than me, and like they come over on Christmas when I was younger, and I'd get the new Madden, and I just like go belt to ass on them. But they were like 12, or 11, and I was older. That's what it felt like. That's like I was.
Yeah, especially when they did the fake punt twice. It's like, oh, you got me with the fake punt.
I was going to bring
I'm
that
do
up.
another one. It's like you just play like a 4-3 defensive Madden. Like we know you're gonna fake. Like what on the world?
It was not to jump in, but like to bounce off of what G said, like playing your younger cousins is just an ego boost, just a nice little ego boost.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you feel like $1 million. It's like, oh, I just beat you by 30 in Madden. I can run. Yeah, if I want to run, I can run for 10 yards a clip. If I want to play action, throw a deep bomb, I'll do whatever I want against you. That's what they did today. If the Patriots really wanted to, like if they truly wanted to, they could have scored 70 points today.
Absolutely,
100%. Aaron Glenn can't be getting in. I guess we'll just get into the Jets off the start. Aaron Glenn, he can't be getting another year, right? Like what is he doing to earn another year coaching that team? And it's like, yeah, they suck, but like, it's like he's calling timeouts at the end of the half when we have the ball. It's like, dude, what do you think's gonna happen here? Well,
yeah, 0 cents. I don't understand that, but he's getting another year. They
I agree with Cal. I agree with Cal. He's going to get another year. He doesn't deserve another year, but the reason why is because Woody Johnson's such a loser, cheapskate, failure owner that they've already paying Robert Saleh because, like, they're still paying him. His contract wasn't up, so, they don't want to be paying 3 coaches next year. You know what I mean? So he's not, and they gave Aaron Glenn, like, decent money, I guess. He was, like, a pretty highly paid, first-year coach, and I think it was a 5-year agreement, so, they're not going to pay him 4 years to not coach while they're still paying the last year of Saleh, and then they're having to pay a third guy. They're not going to pay 3 coaches, so they won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are probably right. And I was thinking about it, too, before we jumped on. Like, so say they end up getting Fernando Mendoza from Indiana or Dante Moore from Oregon. That's not saving this franchise. Like, all that's going to do is run these kids into the ground. Like, you've traded so many. They've got rid of good players. Like, they obviously have picks, but if you bring Fernando Mendoza in next year, play him as your quarterback, you bring Dante Moore in, they're just going to get run into the ground. Like, those kids aren't franchise saviors, Like, I don't know what the plan is there. Maybe they just suck again next year, tank again next year, and then the next year get the quarterback, and that's how they build it. But, like, it's just crazy how consistently over the years, they're like a hamster wheel just sucking at building a franchise. And it's like, we went dynasty, couple years bad. We're back. They've just been bad the whole time outside of a couple of those seasons. And it's like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be a test to see if the Jets truly are just a cursed franchise because they have so many draft picks the next 2 years.
Yeah,
They
you got to
have
hit, though.
I know they do, but like they're going to be like high level, like early round, first round picks, early round, second round picks.
Yeah, and they got those Colts picks, and the Colts end up missing the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, they did this a few years ago, though, and then they hit some of those picks, but they didn't hit everything else, and it's like they end up trading some of these guys, like Keenan Williams and
They'll never get the quarterback right, but
Sauce.
at the end of the day with the Jets, it all starts from the top. It all starts with
Mhm.
ownership. Woody Johnson's one of the worst owners in the NFL. He has been since he bought the team. It's not really like a debate. He is awful. He has no idea what he's doing. And I don't think they don't hire the right people to like coach the team. They don't hire the right GMs to pick the players. I mean, yeah, sometimes they have gotten lucky, getting, a couple of these guys like when Williams was good, they traded him. I think Garrett Wilson's a pretty good receiver. Sauce Gardner's overrated, but he was a good corner. Like they've hit on a couple of these players, but they've never gotten the quarterback right. They've never gotten the coach right. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't think. I know they have all these picks coming. Would you guys be stunned if they miss on like 4 out of these picks and like maybe one of these kids is a good player and they obviously fail at whoever they take at quarterback? I think it's more likely than not that that's what they do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Or
they're
they
just...
go, bro, my bad.
No,
Sorry.
I didn't have anything.
I think it's either that or the draft picks that they end up hitting on are good players, but they're at positions that don't mean shit to changing the franchise because that's what they end up doing. Like,
Yeah.
like they get a good, typically a good corner can help, but like good corner, good D tackle, good D, like stuff like that. But that's not changing your franchise. Good players, yeah, you quote unquote hit on the pick, but that's not changing shit for you on a year to year basis.
Yeah.
They don't hit on the main ones.
I think that's a good way to transition into Mr. Drake Maye, and what it means when you do hit the quarterback. Because, I mean, he was just on another level today. Just really just took off right where he left off after Baltimore the other night, and just they couldn't stop him. He was unbelievable today. I mean, yeah, like we've talked about, they're going up against a bad team. Still NFL player. You're still looking at 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10s, where it's like, all right, Drake, go get us a play, make a play. And he's playing at a seriously high level right now that makes you feel great if he can keep this up going into January. I mean, it's like he's playing better than anybody else in the NFL right now. And like I said last week, he's been the best quarterback in football this season. I genuinely believe that, and proved it again today. What were you guys' thoughts?
First player in NFL history today to complete 90% of his passes, throw for 250 yards and 5 touchdowns. First player in the history of the NFL, Drake Maye today. So, I mean, he's making history every week. I mean, and you have to remember, this is the same franchise that had Tom Brady for 20 years. So when you're breaking NFL records with a franchise that employed Tom Brady for 20 years, and, only the 3rd guy in our franchise history to throw for 4,000 yards in the season. Brady did 11 times. Bledsoe did it twice. So, for someone to do this at his age 23 season where he's only going to get better, you should be terrified if you're a fan of the other 31 teams in the league. That's just like my thought. Is like, this kid is only 23 years old. It's not like, this is his 5th year. He's 27. This is probably as good as he's going to get. No, he's only going to be getting better. So we are very, very lucky to have this guy. He is a special talent.
Yeah, I mean, he played unbelievable. The craziest part about it, after everything you just said, G, me and Broom talked about this before, is with all that, how did he still not have a perfect QB rating?
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't have a 150
stat.
157. How would that even done? Dude, he was 19 for 21, 256, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 90.5% completion percentage with 5 fucking touchdowns, and it's not a perfect QBR?
12.2
then that
yards per
that
attempt.
QB thing, it means nothing to me. Then that's all you need to know is that QB rating means nothing.
How is that
it might
possible?
be an attempt. Maybe it's an attempt thing. I mean, he was 12.2 yards per
he
attempt.
averaged 12.2 yards
Yeah.
a pass.
And he threw 5 fucking touchdowns.
Yeah. 3 for 22 on the ground too. Yeah, I mean, dude,
That's wild.
Some of those, it's like he makes it look so easy. Like he's processing the game really, really well for a second-year quarterback. I think that's what's taken him to that next level this year, where there's such an incredible amount of talent in that kid, and we've talked about that ad nauseum. He's oozing talent, but like for example, that play, the touchdown pass to Rhamondre, like he sees up the end on Rhamondre. Let me give him a second to get open. Boom, perfect pass, touchdown. Like a lot of quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, don't process that easily. He's still plus 200 for MVP after that game. Like I genuinely think this team's probably, knock on wood, going to go 14-3. He's throwing today to Stefon Diggs at the late stage of his career, rookie Kyle Williams, rookie Efton Chism, Demario Douglas was involved a little bit, Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. It's not like he's throwing to the freaking monsters out there doing this. It's all him. And he's playing the game at a perfect level. And their team's going to finish with the records so far. One, what you expected before the season, and two, you put in a replacement, like an average quarterback, not a replacement level quarterback. You put a pretty good NFL quarterback on this team, and they're not even coming close to making the playoffs. So I don't know what else you can say about the kid. I could talk about him all day, but I just love watching him play, man. He's just so awesome.
Yeah, I think to credit the crew today, I think I actually liked Drew Brees. I thought Drew Brees did a good job, and he talked about a little bit what you were saying is just as Brady always says, or people always say, play the quarterback position from the shoulders up.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a good job of like pointing it out where it's obvious Drake Maye knows where the pressure's coming from, know where either the blitz, and knows that someone has to drop out. And like that Rhamondre play was a perfect example. And I think the way Drew Brees said it was like he knew someone had to drop out. It ended up being when he noticed it was the D end on Rhamondre, it's like, okay, he knew exactly where he was going. And he did that again on the Chism play. Not the touchdown, the early one. He threw exactly right over the blitz. Guy coming in his face. Pause. Guy rushing in his face. Guy rushing in his face. Throws right over to Chism over the middle. What do you got? We got to follow that up, G, please.
I was going to say, great. I agree with you 100% on Drew Brees today. He was great. I didn't really heard him call a game before, and I just want to say thank you to Mark Sanchez for smoking a ton of angel dust and stabbing that guy, because if he didn't do that and lose his career at Fox, we would have been stuck with Mark Sanchez in the booth today, talking about whatever, eating hot dogs, whatever the hell he was doing as a broadcaster. So I was glad that we were able to get Drew Brees in there, because he did a great job breaking down the game. He was actually really insightful to listen to. It was like actually like a breath of fresh air. I actually really liked listening to him today.
Yep. Yeah. No more notes on that. Another note, though. 8-0 on the road. The team went undefeated on the road. Not something I had on my bingo card going into the season this year, to say the least. I can't believe that, man.
Only two Patriot teams have gone undefeated on the road. The year we don't speak of, and 2016 when they won the Super Bowl. So you're in some pretty good company. That is hard to do in today's NFL to not lose a game on the road. That was very impressive. And the fashion in which they did it today was just like a stamp on it. Like, hey, we're finishing this out strong.
Yeah, there's really nothing else to be said. And they talk about it. They wanted it, and they got it done. They've been doing it all year.
Yeah, it's just an excellent win, man. Especially with I know we had a lot of guys out. We talked about it going into the preview. A lot of guys. Yeah, you're missing your left guard, your left tackle, your 2 and 3 receivers. A bunch of guys on defense are out, and they just did it so easily. It's like it's got to make you feel pretty good going to the playoffs. I mean, just like back to May, like like we've talked about a few times, the quarterback coach combination going into January. I can't wait to see this team play in the playoffs now. The way they've finished that Ravens game, the way they look today, I'm hoping they're going to go take care of business against Miami next week. And then it's like, whether you're playing in that wild card round, whether you're playing in the divisional round, I can't wait to see what this team has in store. I think we talked about this like 8 weeks ago, Cal. Like, regardless how the season ends, it should end with a standing ovation for just how fun it's been.
Mhm.
But my expectations now, I don't necessarily expect them to win the AFC. I certainly think they can. And like, if he's gonna play like this,
Yeah.
what do you think, Cal?
Yeah, no, I think expectations have to change a little bit. And it's not that I'll be disappointed in this season or anything like that, because I think it's been so fun. Like, we are so, like, as a fan, just so back, and it's awesome. But if they need to, we need to see this team in the playoffs. We need to get, I think, at least a playoff win is a low expectation for this team. I think they can absolutely go win the AFC. Like, we're as good of a team in the NFL there is in the NFL. We have the coach,
As long as
quarterback,
they can
like you
stay
mentioned.
healthy, though, man, I'm a little worried with all these guys banged up because it's like that. Like
Yeah.
that game today, it's tough to make a real takeaway from it. Like, as great as they looked, that Jets team was so piss poor. Like, Brady Cook is so bad that it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, G?
Yeah, but the thing is, yes, the Jets are. We talked about at the beginning, like they are the laughing stock of the NFL. They're an embarrassment. All that. These guys are still in the NFL though. They're still NFL players, and like some of those guys who are still in the game, like Johnson there, like the defensive end, like starting player in the NFL. Quincy Williams, linebacker, like solid linebacker in the NFL. Like, they're still in the league. So they went out there and they went belt to ass on them, and they played really well. About the health thing, I think the thing that I'm trying to be positive about is that these aren't season-ending injuries that some of these guys have had. These are all things that like it looks like they will. It's not obviously the Mack Hollins thing is awful. Like not having him really, unless they made it to the AFC Championship game at the Super Bowl, is brutal. But
Yeah.
it sounds like everybody else, there's a chance that they could come back for and be a part of for a playoff run. So if we can get to that point where we have most of these guys back, then we have as good a chance as anybody to win the AFC.
Yeah,
I feel confident in this group.
I did see with Hollins. They said before the game, I guess even if you get the 1 seed, it's still the bye week still counts as one of the 4 games. So if they did make the AFC Championship, he'd be eligible, which
Oh,
is
okay.
good to know.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that rule. But yeah, I mean, I guess pivoting off the health, as much as there are a lot of these guys out. I mean, for one, I think they rightfully saw this game as like, hey, we can get this done with a lesser crew today. This Jets team blows.
Yeah.
Let's give Landry a day
Yep.
type of ordeal, right? Let's give Tonga the game. Like, maybe those guys could have been ready to play if they needed to. On the flip side, I thought Rhamondre is really looking healthy. I think he looks like peak Rhamondre right now. He was excellent today.
He looked awesome. I think to start the game, that was even the first couple drives. Notes like just he looked confident. He doesn't look like he is like worried about the ball, holding on to the ball or anything like that, where he was a little like not skittish, but he's hitting the hole. He knows what he's looking at, and he's getting downhill. And again, the little bit of wiggle that we talked about earlier in the week showed up again. And yeah, he's running well.
I thought he was excellent today. I took him anytime Tutty plus 120, so that hit like with ease. I thought he played great. The way I was thinking of you, Cal, when he had that on one of those cutback runs, and I think it was maybe the first drive, the little wiggle at the line of scrimmage, made a guy miss, cut it upfield, long game, just playing with a lot of confidence. Looks healthy. I think he's past the toe injury that he had. Earlier in the season. So, I mean, we're going to need him and Treveyon if we're going to do anything. We finally, I know it's the Jets, but these last few weeks, we're finally finding the run game. Obviously, they ran for 250 against the Bills. Last week was more of a Drake Maye game, but they did run to win the game. That's what's important. They still ran the ball to win the game at the end. And then this week, they ran it very, very well. So that's what you want to be able to do. Like, if you're going to be playing, hopefully, multiple games in Foxborough in the playoffs, you're going to have some form of a run game.
Yeah, and to
Yeah.
jump in real quick, I think part like what you said, G, finding something in the run game. I think it part of it comes from that extra tackle, like Munford coming. They've been using him a lot.
I know.
So
Ever since they picked him up, he's on the field a ton.
yeah,
Yeah, it reminds me of I think it was the 2014 season. The Patriots did that a lot. Where they would bring in an extra tackle, they would run LeGarrette Blount in these like heavy formation packages, and then I think in one of the playoff games in the AFC Championship game that year against the Colts, ran all over Indy. So it's kind of like I feel like when I'm watching this team play, I kind of have throwbacks to other past Patriot teams, in my brain. Like, okay, well, I remember, in 2014, we would do certain things like this, or like, a couple of weeks ago, I was saying, they're kind of like the '03 Patriots where they have a different receiver who can get you every week. So it's like they have a lot of like DNA qualities of past teams that we've seen be really successful.
Yeah, they ran for about 1,000 yards in that AFC Championship against the
Yeah.
Colts. I'll never forget. That was the
Yeah.
Deflategate game.
Yep. I know. I
But
was
just
It's
there.
to,
and it's the remnants of a Josh McDaniels offense. That's why it looks
Yep.
familiar.
Yep.
Which is just like it's like it's like a heartwarming type of thing as a fan.
yeah, and
You
just
know?
on Rhamondre, I mean, for one, like I've had turf toe in the past. It sucks. Like, the type of thing doesn't go away for a while. It hurts when you're walking, so it's not surprising that it took him some time to get back to health. He was 8 for 47 on the ground, 5 for 55 receiving, 1 touchdown rushing, 1 receiving, 102 total yards. I think what stuck out to me too is it seems like he's running with a lot of patience. But the difference between him and Treveyon is it almost like Rhamondre has something like Le'Veon Bell light, where it's like he gets the ball, he's reading the defense really well before deciding where to go. Like Le'Veon
Mhm.
Bell in his prime would get the ball and like it was almost like he was running in slow motion when running to like 1,800-yard seasons, but just being so patient in deciding where to run. Where with Treveyon today, I think he ended up with pretty good numbers. It does feel like sometimes he just gets the ball and sprints into the hole and like runs right into a linebacker without like slowing down to make a miss. There was one play I noticed it specifically where he just
Yeah.
ran right into the linebacker, and it was like you're so shifty that maybe the game still needs to slow down for you. Then you can kind of make those linebackers miss in those situations. But like Treveyon feels like it's a lot of either 20-yard runs or 50-yard touchdown runs, or he's getting like stuck at the line of scrimmage. So I don't know. Maybe that's something that's just who he is, or that'll take some time. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think that, you'll take that mix though, right? Like, cause sometimes, like, I like having like Rhamondre being the guy who's gonna pretty consistently get you 4 or 5. And then, you're gonna have some boomer bust with Treveyon. Maybe he gets a 1 yard gain, gets stuck at the line of scrimmage, or he's gonna break it 60 yards to the house because he's the fastest player on the field. Like having that kind of balance with your running backs is critical. And that's always kind of been like a McDaniel's offense. They've always kind of had like multiple types of running backs. They've had like a power back, they've had a speed back, they've had like a third down back. So I think having like a couple of different styles of running backs is important for this offense.
Yeah. And I think what you said, Brew, of the 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 patience and even like let the game slow down for him a little bit. I get Ramondre said this after the Baltimore game on that touchdown run is he knew where he was he knew he was cutting it back pre-snap.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was designed to go left, he saw the front, he saw the way like the defense was set up, and he talked about he's like, I knew I was cutting it back pre-snap. I don't think Treveyon's there yet. I think Treveyon is like, okay, this is the coach tells me this is where the blocking is going to be. I'm going here. But that also benefits Treveyon because when the blocking's there and he hits it a fucking 1,000 miles an hour, he's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like that. It's a geez, it's a good balance. It's a good yin and yang. Like they complement each other, and they both run hard. So
Yeah, Treveyon, I mean, it might just take some time. It seems like a bright kid, so I'm happy with what he's been, obviously. And then I think the other guy who stood out. Sorry, G, you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like this is kind of the last couple of weeks here. This is like what we thought at the beginning of the season, right? Like, didn't we think at the beginning of the year, like, oh, our running back room is going to be really strong.
mhm.
Like, Treveyon's are really good. They're going to be really talented. Rhamondre has a ton of talent. He's shown it in the past. And obviously, throughout the course of the year, it wasn't always that they were playing to get, like, I feel like sometimes Rhamondre would be playing well, then other times Treveyon would be playing well, and they never have really done it together at the same time. But I feel like the last couple of weeks now, it's like, okay, like they're both playing well together at the same time. This is what we envisioned to start to start the year, and you're hitting it at the most important time of the season.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. And then I thought the other player who really stood out today offensively was Diggs. He looks ready to play in the playoffs. He was 6 catches, 101 yards. Had that awesome catch on that May. I mean, like just a superstar on both ends, throwing catch where Drake rolls out, throws it to a spot down the field where only Diggs can catch it. He makes it incredible. He really just like mossed the corner on that one. I'm trying to see how many yards that was. 31 yards on that play. Just what a freak! Like 31 yards on that type of skill play is crazy, man. Like that's just showing the talent that those two guys have.
The
Randy
the
Moss would be proud. That was
Yeah.
that was a Randy Moss play. That was beautiful. I actually thought Drake was throwing it away on that play. I was like, smart decision, because he was kind of like flush from the pocket. I'm like, all right, smart, throw it away. He came talented. And it was a perfect throw too. That was a spot. But that's what you said. It's like you have a superstar quarterback, you have a superstar wide receiver. Like our players are just better than yours type of play.
Yeah,
he looks
the
healthy.
the throw by Drake was fucking awesome. Rolling to the right. He just makes that stuff look so easy. Throw was great, and then the catch is the definition of on your head. Like, he literally picked it off of the corner's head. So, unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that was awesome. He was just kind of like making plays all day, I thought he was excellent today. I mean, other big, like, I usually like to go through the plays. It was just such a blowout. It's like, went down the field, touchdown, went down the field, touchdown.
Yep.
Everything was so easy. You could highlight like every play on offense. It was so many good plays that I thought I love the Diggs touchdown on the 4th and goal. Just a quick screen, boom, touchdown, easy.
Yep.
Just really well. Like everything they did offensively was so well executed. You know.
Oh, you mean the Danny Amendola 2-point conversion from Super Bowl 51? That was lovely.
Yep.
Exactly.
Second time we've seen that this year. That's how that's how Diggs got his first touchdown this year. It was the exact same play.
Yep. Jalen Hawkins had a nice pick on a really pretty poor throw from Brady. Cook was terrible, man.
That was
I think either one of us three could have made that pick. I mean, I like Jalen Hawkins. He's had a good year. That was the most telegraphed, easy throw I've ever seen in my life. I think everybody in the Meadowlands knew that's where he was going with that.
It was bad.
The Pats had 13 first downs before the Jets had 1. I thought that was my note at the end of the first quarter. I thought Kyle Williams did pretty solid, a little bit of a increased role. He did have a kind of a tough drop. Didn't end up costing them, but he's going to have to play more with Mack Hollins out. And then our boy, we called it, the Next String Podcast Special, Efton Chism, anytime TD, hits for the 6th touchdown of the day. We were all fired up.
That was fun. Sent it in the group chat this morning. Had a feeling. Cal rode with me. Fun bet. Happy for Efton Chism. He's been working his ass off to kind of get going here. A couple guys get hurt. He gets a chance. That was fun. And you know how I know the team loves this kid is they were all really fired up and they were really happy for him too. They were all celebrating with him. Like, that was awesome. Now, it's one of those things where it's like you know that this team is locked in and they all really do care about each other. So that was great to see.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we completely manifested that, and it was it was awesome. It was awesome.
I was fired up, dude.
And like you said, G, that kind of leads me. I'll get into it more on kind of the takeaways, but the whole team was so happy for him. Drake was pumped for him. Drake wanted to get him in the end zone.
And Drake doesn't usually get that like fired up or emotional. You know, he's usually a pretty cool cucumber there. He doesn't like, get that riled up. He was fired up. That was really awesome. I was like, that reminded me of when, I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago when Jacoby Myers hadn't scored a touchdown yet. Yes. He had like a pretty and the whole team was celebrating with him. That kind of reminded me of that a few years back.
The start of something special. After Chism today.
Yeah.
It is funny just how
he's a
much
baller. He can play.
Oh yeah, it is funny how much like Boston loves themselves a nice white boy and like a non-traditional white boy. Like how much the crowd loves Brayden Pritchard when he starts going off. Like Efton Chism was like another wide receiver, let's go. Yeah. Everybody's all fired up. But yeah, I mean, he definitely is a baller. He had a nice play too on the 30-yard catch earlier across the middle.
Yeah. I thought he was going to score on that play.
He should have. If he didn't trip, he should have.
If he didn't trip on Jet Life Stadium shit turf, then yes, he might have scored.
Yeah. Having an anytime score bet is so fun, man. It's probably the funnest thing. Like, having a touchdown score is so fun, and then they hit. It's like, you're just so excited. You know what I think? So earlier I texted you guys when Henry scored. He's obviously 85. For a second, I was like, he looked a little big. I'm not lying, but I was that Chism? Like, no, it wasn't Chism. But yeah, I mean, dude, that was great. And then I don't really know what to make of the defense today. Like, I didn't really have anybody. Like, I thought Chason made some nice plays, but the Jets were so bad. It's like, what do you say? You know, it's like, what did you guys have any takeaways on anybody on the defense today?
I thought
Nah.
Christian Gonzalez played great today.
Oh, he did.
He
Yeah,
was
for
like he
sure.
was like tackling. He was aggressive. He was like all over the place. He was motivated today for sure. He played really well. I thought Chason had a pretty good game too. But it's what you said, Brew. It is hard. Like the Jets are so inept and they're so bad, and they have like a Pop Warner C team level offense. So it's like kind of hard to judge. But the Patriots don't get docked for that. Obviously, that's not their problem that they're playing against those guys. They did what they were supposed to do. But I would say those were the two guys that kind of stood out of the top of my head was Gonzalez and Chason probably were the best defenders today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the only other person to shout out again, I know I shouted him out last week, is Anthony Jennings. I think he's getting opportunities, and he's just, again, it's the Jets. But you noticed him when he's out there. You noticed him again today. So, like, taking advantage of some opportunities, being solid.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny.
but-
Like, like so much this year we've talked about, like, oh, they're still NFL players. You can't, like, knock them. But, like, today it was like, dude, this team blows.
I know.
They
It
couldn't
puts
do
that-
anything right.
It puts that saying to the test.
Yeah. I saw, like, a Bills fan on Twitter being like, oh, like, Pat's beating up on the Jets. Another easy one's like, dude, you played them twice, too. Shut the fuck up.
You're in the
What are
same
you
division,
talking about?
dipshit. Yeah.
It's like, we play the Eagles this week. You guys play the Jets. It's like, okay, you play the Jets next week, buddy. Some people do. Twitter, I got to get the hell off Twitter. So much dumb shit on there. But yeah, I mean, I just had a few more notes. I don't know if you guys have more you want to talk about. Like, Mike Vrabel, just, again, ton of credit to him. 13-3 now, 8-0 on the road. Just has them locked in. Like, this team, where I was personally 2 weeks ago right now after the Bills game to where I am now, feels a whole lot better. Feel a lot more optimistic about things. But just shout out to Mike Vrabel, man. Like, that's what the Jets need, is a Mike Vrabel. Is a head coach who's like a real program changer, culture setter that changes everything. And I mean, like you said, G, I don't know if the owner will even allow that. It's such a shit show there.
So. No, I don't think so, bro.
Rex Wright kind of did it for a little bit, I guess.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, they had Bill Parcells running the ship there, in the late '90s, early 2000s, and they were kind of like a decent little franchise there for some time. And then the old owner, Leon Hess, died. Woody Johnson bought the team. Parcells left. Belichick came here, and the rest has been history. I mean, that's the last 25 years for the Jets. I mean, they've been a fucking joke. I will say, I am happy, though, that the Jets did interview Mike Vrabel about a year ago this weekend. And I think the reason why Vrabel took the interview was to let Robert Kraft know, like, hey, other teams want me. So if you want me, one, you better get rid of your guy. You better get rid of Mayo and do what you got to do. And two, you're going to have to, like, come after me because there are other teams that want me. I'm not just going to sit around and wait for you. So shout out to the Jets for making Robert Kraft move just with a little urgency, because there's no way he was going to lose Mike Vrabel to the fucking Jets.
Dude, in an alternate universe today, we have Drake Maye coaching against Mike Vrabel for the Jets. And that, I'm glad that's not
I don't
want to
live in that universe.
Yeah, seriously.
And a takeaway is, obviously, the Vrabel interview. I think we all knew it was going to be Vrabel, but this is where I think awesome for the fucking the Jets, like Patriots Jets rivalry is two parts. Aaron Glenn denied the interview request from the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And it was the Rooney Rule. So I get it. I don't actually mind that from him. That's what I'm saying. And they know it's the Rooney Rule, which I think is, we don't have to get into any of the Rooney Rule stuff. But the fact that he denied the interview, I think just is another like little jab, interdivisional type of thing. Like, that's cool. I like that. And then also for the Jets rivalry is how much I love Vrabel. I know I texted this in the chat earlier. I don't know if either of you guys noticed it, but at the end, like the second to last play of the first half, there was no reason for Vrabel to call a timeout. And Vrabel called the timeout. And they showed him, and you could tell someone on the sideline asked him, like, why'd you call a timeout? And you could read his lips. He goes, fuck him, that's why.
Yeah, I love that.
He was pissed.
It's awesome. Just fucking hates the Jets.
They kind of had that cheap hit on May at the end, like that 2-minute drive, too.
Yeah.
I think he was like, fuck this team.
Yeah.
What happened?
I just think that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that, Brew. If you guys remember, the Patriots we were backed up, I think they were kind of like okay with the fact of kind of just like running the clock, going to halftime. We run it. The Jets call a timeout. Then it's I think Kyle Williams drops it, and then it's third down, and it's an incompletion to Diggs, and then it's that cheap fucking hit on Drake Maye afterwards, and obviously Vrabel was upset. The entire team was upset too, and they're like, you know what? Nope. Now we're gonna go score a touchdown, and now we're gonna play fuck you football, which I just loved.
Yep. It was the roughing the passer, and there's also a taunting penalty.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're down 28-3. Who are you taunting?
Yeah, he's taunting Diggs. Diggs looked so confused when the guy was taunting him too. He's like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
you're down 1,000.
Yeah, like, come on, dude.
So, right after, what happened with Vrabel? Did you guys see what happened with Vrabel and Barmore at the end of the half?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was because I think I don't know this for a fact, but just deductive reasoning. I'm pretty sure Vrabel probably told Barmore, like, hey, they're probably going to try to fight or start a scrum, like a scrum or something at the end of the half. Be smart. Don't get involved in it. And then Barmore and one of the linemen for the Jets got involved in it. So I think that's probably what it was, because Vrabel didn't look too pissed. Vrabel was more like, Barmore looked pissed because he was just got in a fucking scrum. So I think it was probably that. And you can see Vrabel saying, it's like, I told you. So that's my guess. I don't know that for sure, but.
Yeah, and Carlton Davis had been trying to break up that little skirmish between Membu. It was Armand Membu and Barmore. And I think Barmore's just frustrated. Someone's pulling, them off you, Davis. Then your coach is kind of getting in your face. I think it was just kind of like one of those heat of the moment things, which has happened. That happens. It's a violent, passionate, angry game. Like, those things are going to happen. I don't know. I saw them on the sideline coming into the second half. They were fine.
Yeah, that's a fiery guy. I think Vrabel loves that. Probably loves that. And Vrabel didn't look mad. Like, if you look at it, Vrabel didn't look mad. He was just like, hey, like, we're good.
Yeah, I usually start making lunch right around halftime. I didn't catch it, so I saw like a clip on Twitter, and that was all I knew. So I didn't think it was anything serious. Any other notes from the game? I have some like post-game thoughts and takeaways, but anything else you guys had?
5 drives, 5 touchdowns. I think that was just. Was it 6?
They started the second half with a touchdown too.
Did they, or they kick? Or what's his name missed a field goal? I thought. Andy missed a field goal.
That was after they had scored the touchdown.
The first second half drive was the Chism touchdown. Yeah, 6 drives. Drake played 6 drives. They had 6 touchdowns. That's what I'm, dude. I could go on. Like, I genuinely think.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
It's kind of crazy that he's not. If he doesn't win MVP, it's because Stafford has like 14 1-yard touchdown passes this year. Like, that's the only stat that he's really got him is the TD passes. And obviously, I'm not like saying like Stafford's a bomb. Stafford's an awesome quarterback. Stafford's quarterbacking the best roster in football this year. I think that's pretty clear. Like, just looking team by team, that team is loaded. Yeah, and they're not going to get a first round home game. It's like, that's really good. Granted, it's like, if you do go through the Rams losses, it's like overtime loss to the Niners where they didn't get it on 4th and 1. They were kicking a field goal to beat the Eagles and they got blocked. They returned it for a touchdown. They lost the overtime game in the Seahawks on 2-point after they scored a touchdown, and then it was just the Panthers game. So it's like, the Rams have been dynamite this year, but it's just like, man, I feel like Drake's just the level he's took this team to for what this team is just crazy impressive.
Yeah, we're not a well-respected team, Brew. We only have 2 Pro Bowlers. I mean, Marcus Jones is the best returner in the NFL. He didn't go. I thought Steph Diggs had a Pro Bowl season. No looks for him. I don't know. We had 2 Pro Bowlers. Good. Give the MVP to Matt Stafford. Yeah. We'll see him in February.
That even makes my point, though. It's like they got one other Pro Bowl on the roster, and they have to go 14-3 because the quarterback's just dicing teams up every week. So I don't know. I mean, I actually think he may be like when the season. Like, I honestly think you shouldn't be able to talk about MVP until the season's over, and it's like, let's look at what the season was rather than it being like a week by week narrative. And I think when you look back on the season, it's gonna be like, Drake Maye was absolutely incredible, and like all the advanced stats really kind of back that up. Where Stafford just kind of has like the counting touchdown stats. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see like what that narrative, if it shifts at all after he has a game like that, after he beats Baltimore in Baltimore with that 4th quarter. Like, he is putting together that late season push.
Yeah, I think I heard. I think it was Albert Breer say this, and I actually kind of liked it. Was like, he broke it into three categories because he was talking about the 3 best quarterbacks right now, and he was talking about all pro, and it was Stafford, Drake Maye, Josh Allen, and he's like, Josh Allen's probably the best player. He's probably the best. He is the best player in the NFL, best quarterback in the NFL. Stafford probably has the best stats, maybe. I think is what he said, like maybe best statistics. But Drake Maye is the most valuable player. If you break down to what most valuable player for your team actually means,
Yeah.
he broke it down that way. I was like, that's actually a good way of putting it, because I'd agree. Josh Allen's the best fucking player in the league. I think Stafford probably, may as a whole may have the best stats on paper, but Drake Maye
Yeah.
is definitely the most valuable to his team.
Yeah, and I like just looking at those advanced stats. Like I think the EPA stuff, it's like it's showing it values a drive where your quarterback led you down the field and then you had a 3-yard touchdown run by your running back, but almost all of the yards were basically accumulated by your quarterback, whereas like touchdown passes just like did the drive end in a pass by the quarterback, right? Like like in Drake kind of like leads everybody in that stuff right now, so it's interesting.
Yeah, we're also not the 92 Cowboys, where we have 30 rushing touchdowns. And, Drake still has 30 passing touchdowns this year. It's not like he's a schlub. Like, he is throwing it into the end zone. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. Matt Stafford's having a great year. Stats are great. But, Drake Maye stats are nothing to just, like, scoff your nose at. He's 30 touchdowns to 8 picks with, I think an okay roster offensively. That's.
Yeah, like what do you think it'd look like if he was quarterback in the Rams? Like they'd be fucking dynamite,
Do
And like
they
it's
have a
not
loss
like
this year? Would they even
that's
have
what
a
I'm
loss this
saying.
year?
That's what I'm saying, man. The other thing we didn't get to hit on is that the Mack Hollins injury. We talked about it briefly, but it does suck, man. Like he's been such a solid target. Like he was a guy I think you could really count on in January, and uh, it just sucks that he's not going to be able to play maybe until we get to hopefully the second to last game of the season now.
Yeah, he's been such a leader, dude. Like good veteran presence, great blocker. You can they've used him in motion a lot too, almost as like a hybrid tight end type. He's like a good vertical threat, good across the middle. Just, I don't know, just a consummate pro. He's a fit for Josh McDaniels' offense. It's a major loss. Obviously, this week we're playing the Jets. It doesn't really, it doesn't really matter this week. Hopefully next week against Miami, it doesn't matter. But I mean, we're gonna miss him in one of those playoff games because he's been clutch and he's been a good player.
Yeah, I think I'm curious to see, because this is obviously a first game without him. It's tough. We've said it a million times. It's the Jets, so take everything a little bit with a grain of salt. But like, how are we going to replace him from a? It's like, how is it going to change our scheme? How is it going to change our personnel sets and stuff like that? Are we gonna end up seeing a lot more two tight end? Is Hooper going to be the guy that replaces him, or like, who is going to be that person or that receiver that comes down to the box? Do we have another person? How is it gonna? Do we go more spread? Who knows? So I'm curious to see how that shapes up. But I mean, a loss of Mack Hollins is huge for this team. He's been the chess piece, as everyone likes to call him. So
We can't hear you, bro.
Might be I went on mute.
Yeah.
I think you'll see some more Booty than you have, maybe. A little more Kyle Williams. I think the two tight end stuff looked great today. I mean, they were kind of using Mumford as a third tight end. Like that was obviously really successful against the Jets. So yeah, it's gonna McDaniels will have to be a little bit more creative, but I think he certainly is capable of making that work. Other things, I mean, right now we don't know the Bills Eagles. I'm looking at it now.
yeah, how's that game going?
Looks like Allen just fumbled in Philly territory. 0-0 late first.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a good game, honestly.
Mm.
So I mean, like if it'll be interesting because I mean, if the Bills lose today and we clinch the division, I guess we'll still because the Jags won today, right? As was ended up happening.
Yes.
So we'd still need to win next week to lock up the 2 seed, which I think will be pretty vital.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't want to get to round 2 and then it's like, oh, you got to go to Jacksonville. You'd way rather have the Florida boys coming up to New England. So yeah, I think next week they'll be going for it regardless against Miami. I was thinking like, and then obviously there is a chance they still get the 1 seed. I don't know if the Chargers will necessarily play like if they'll rest guys next week when they play Denver now because they lost yesterday.
That would be stupid if they did that because what they should be trying, anybody who's a wild card in the AFC, you should be trying to get the number 5 seed so you can play the winner of the AFC North division, so you could play either the Steelers
But I don't
or the
know
Ravens.
I don't know what their odds are because I mean, I don't know I think the Bills get the tiebreaker over them regardless, and the Bills get the Jets next week. So I don't think the Chargers can get up to 5. So and
Oh,
then
they
it's like
can't? Okay.
and then they lost to the Texans. Who do the Texans get next week?
Indy.
Okay, so yeah,
Don't
I
they
mean,
play
it's
Indy
pretty
in
likely
Houston?
that it's pretty likely that the Chargers will be 7. So as long as we beat Miami, we're either going to be playing the Chargers, which I like that matchup. I mean, it's not like there's obviously it's not Herbert's playing crazy well right now, and you'd rather not play an awesome quarterback in the playoffs.
Is
But
there no chance that it ends up being someone else by the Chargers because of the Steelers loss today? That the Steelers would just
it's
need the only way they get in is if they win the division
it's only
next week.
Right.
division, yeah. So
Only
like
okay.
the wild cards are Indy's
Yeah, I didn't
eliminated.
know
So
if yeah.
it's Texans unless the Texans could technically win the
Yeah.
division, but I don't think that's gonna happen. No, maybe I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen.
The
So one of those
Texans
teams plays.
technically could win the division. If they win next week and the Jags lose to the Titans, then yes, they would win the division.
So the
Okay.
Jags have to lose to the Titans. Yeah, that's what it was. So realistically, I mean, I would definitely rather play the Chargers than the Texans. I wasn't very impressed by those teams yesterday, though.
No,
They're both
I
good
mean,
defenses, though.
I mean, I am with the pass rush, but again, that at the same time, that offensive line of the Chargers is so beat up
Yeah,
that it even made those guys look even better.
I wish we had a
But-
better pass rush because that's like a really way you beat that team, and it's like our pass rush has just been so mid
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's not.
yeah,
maybe-
but I think
maybe
I think even an average pass rush can get to the to the Chargers
Yeah.
because their offensive line so horrible and banged up and bad. And I don't know, maybe this week off for Landry. I don't know. We'll see how much he plays. Next week if he can be a little fresh, get him a little extra juice for for the playoff game if that's who we end up playing. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what their game plan is and how they scheme up against Herbert because that is a tough matchup. But it's
He's
a tough
so
matchup
good.
for them too against us.
It
Yeah,
is.
I think they're probably angling to play us just because we're probably like the worst pass rush of these teams they could get, and that's how you really beat them. But at the end of the day, it's like the Chargers coming east to Foxborough has never been a great recipe for them. Except
No.
last year, right? Was it?
Yeah, but that
last
wasn't
year
even late in the
spanked
year,
us
but that
last
doesn't
year.
count.
Yeah, they spanked us.
Lad
last
McConkey
year.
went for like 200 yards.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I still think I guess there's so yeah, I guess if like they're pretty much locked into 7, they probably aren't going to go beat Denver in Denver. But I don't know.
I don't know. I still think you go in and play that game if you're the Chargers. You kind of have to.
If I'm the Chargers and if the Eagles win today, then I play that game like I would normally play like that game. If they lose, I don't know if they are like I think if the Bills win today, then maybe they are like officially locked into the 7 seed regardless. Then it's like okay, whatever. Then maybe you rest your guys and you don't play. But also at the same time, if you're the Chargers, do you want to just gift wrap your division rival the number 1 seed in the AF? Like that's kind of crazy too. And I can't see Harbaugh being that kind of guy either.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so I guess if the Chargers did beat Denver, then Denver falls to 3, right? Because the Jags beat Denver. And then they both have 4 losses potentially.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You are right, Brew. Yes.
So then it would be.
Yes.
Yeah,
In a hypothetical world. In a hypothetical
play
world, if the Patriots win next week, the Chargers beat the Broncos and the Jags win, then it would be Patriots 1, Jaguars 2, and Broncos 3.
Yeah, it's a lot of hypotheticals. It's kind of too hard to get into it, but
It is. Yeah.
That's
I
kinda,
just let you guys. I let you guys do it. I don't even waste the brain power on it. That's not my lane.
Yeah. That's all I have for today. You guys have anything else?
Takeaway. My takeaway that I thought obviously it was not only was it fun for us, but like you can tell that's a close knit team that we have.
Yeah.
They were having fun when the backups got in. They were like the like we already mentioned the reaction to Chism getting in the end zone, huge. And then I think the part that was funny was kind of a comical moment. The late play of Kyle Williams where he was out of bounds. You see Drake Maye throw off his jacket and do a little like it's a catch, and now they were all laughing. So I think there's like you can tell they're having fun. It's a well knit team, close knit team, and I mean, I think that matters. You play for the
Oh,
guys
yeah.
on the field, and you like them. Like that locker room means a lot. So
You guys all play football. You know what it is. When you guys have a good locker room, it makes it a lot of fun showing up to practice,
Oh
especially when you
yeah.
start winning some games. There's nothing like a football locker room. My biggest takeaway was just that, like, with all the injuries they had, it was like, I think, we all had predictions. I think you boys said like 27-10, 27-9. I said 24-10. I thought it was going to be one of those games where, yeah, we kicked their ass, but, we just it was one of those games where we kind of just get the fuck out of Dodge. We don't do a ton, but it was a complete opposite. With all those injuries, to come out and absolutely whoop their ass and play as well as they did, and for their quarterback to have the best game of his career so far is just, it just really just shows how how impressive Vrabel has done getting these guys locked in, and just like how proud I am of this team to like be able to come out and have that kind of effort. It's on a short week too. They played Sunday Night Football, a tough physical game, and then it's Christmas this week. They missed a day of practice. To be able to do all that is just, it's super impressive.
Yeah, totally. Gotta wrap up the podcast. Oh, looks like Eagles went up 7-0 on Buffalo.
yeah. One last thing I just thought about is obviously Diggs had his incentive today. Is he gonna get close to his other incentive? Because what do you end with today?
Yeah,
end
he
with
got
101
He
he
needs like
ended.
20. He needs like
101.
30 yards,
So
yeah.
like he might hit that 1,000. Like that 1,000's right there.
Oh,
He's
gonna
gonna
need
30 yards, yeah.
30
Yeah,
yards.
he's gonna get
So
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll wrap up the episode for today. Give us a follow, give us a like. We're thinking about making some merch, some Next Ring Podcast merch. So if anybody's interested, shoot us a DM, shoot us a text.
let us know what you want.
Maybe some sweatshirts, maybe some long sleeve tees, maybe some hats. I'm not really sure what people would be looking for. And I think I'm gonna start putting these on YouTube too. I'm gonna make an account, like a Next Ring account. I'll make like a Gmail. I'll make a YouTube account link to it so we can maybe get some voicemails or some questions sent in for the pod. We can put some videos up, and yeah, everything's good. But other than that, can't wait for next week. We'll do probably another preview episode Wednesday. I guess Wednesday, New Year's Eve, isn't it? Shit. Maybe we'll do like another. I don't know. We'll text. We'll figure something out. We'll get something out this week.
Yeah.
I'm around all week, so
All right. Cool. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
all right,
Go Pats and go Birds.
Peace.
Yay.